Your self-judgment, the errors within ourselves. It's our excuses. How we attack procrastination. I live with that as well as anyone else, how we attack our own emotion. And those emotions, learning to attack problems. For every promise, there is a price to pay. It's the design of the promise, how clear the future, your skills, your life value, your list of codes, morals, your ethics, your ways in which you conduct yourself. Achieving is believing. So the money is not important. It's what you become, the skills, the knowledge, how you view the marketplace, in your local economy throughout the world. Don't sell out your principles. Try to be rich by 40 inside and be well-knowledged and well-rounded. There's a time you can lead all you want, but there's only so much time to learn. So if you're leading and trying to teach and guide, you don't always have the time to learn. So trying to find that healthy balance and being able to teach yourself, guide yourself, learn, and then guide others makes a big difference in your financial independence. And that's your heritage. That's your legacy you're leaving behind, your ability to live freely and earn from your own personal resources. I started very young, and I was lucky to really embrace that side and be resilient and continue to go on. And I think we need to build that resiliency up and keep that going throughout our later ages. Kids are very resilient, and they ask a lot of questions, and they're always trying to find more information out. I think as you get older and you get burnt out working and you're in that everyday grind, it's harder to get back into that learning curve sometimes to change our ways or readapt. So, to adapt in your philosophy to investing, how you spend your money or how you spend your time. That's the first thing, and how you spend anything. So where do you invest time and spend time that affects money before you ever make it? Knowing before your hours even come how you're going to really properly go about your philosophy in life. How you view your life and your self-teaching. Not to spend more than 70% of a dollar, and that gives you 70 cents, but if you put 10 cents towards charity, churches, helping people. I know I went to a Catholic school until I was in second grade, and then I switched to public school, but they taught tithe, like the TITHE. So, and that's the piece of, kids learn certain things. So, helping people that can't help themselves, worthy projects, being generous. It's character building and teaching. And I learn a lot of that just being in restaurants and being around tons of different people all the time. Changing my environments in restaurants and working with foreign exchange students to all kinds of things. And it starts with small amounts, It's your capital too, Where do you actively keep capital at? Like 10 cents out of a dollar if you took, something you do for profit. And if you're putting money away so that way you can buy a lawnmower so you can start doing lawn care, or you can eventually buy a truck and do snow plowing, or buy a chainsaw so you can cut trees. Where are you putting your capital at? Are you putting it in the stock market? Are you buying a bond, savings bond? All these little things add up in life. And the wages, they're not profit. You work for a wage, but try your best to show a profit. Profits are better than wages. A wage, yeah, you're going and earning, but a wage makes a living. So if you're trying to make a profit, and it's that fortune concept, I guess, you really want to take and look at what's a wage in your life and what's really profiting you for a longevity piece. The borrower is the servant to the lender. That's a big key factor and principle just to keep in mind. The borrower is a servant to the lender. So your next 10 cents, is passive capital. Your capital, you let someone else use compound interest, your money, sustained period of time. Power position is the lender, not the spender. Children, little life lessons. America touching it, make it better. We're in America, so if you can decide, like, hey, my friend's doing this, I'm going to invest in his startup company. Or my friend's buying baseball cards, so I'm going to buy baseball cards. If you see it as a passive, in the 90s, I know that was popular. Now, I'm not really sure where cards and things are, but for us, some of us growing up, it was, putting money into the people that knew how to do mechanics, how to turn a wrench, buying the parts and making sure we had parts on hand, so that way we would switch parts on our cars out. And then you want to help other people stay afloat, and it's a give and take, back and forth, and that's growth and independence. And I think kids are really good at learning that capital side of how far, like, in America, it touches each other, and how far, like, one person helps and influences another, and paying your bills, reducing your liabilities, just to learn a schedule that, that debt's not going to go anywhere. The debt still needs to be paid, and the debt still needs to be taken care of. And no matter what, you have to continue. And sometimes that's looking at the next 3 years. It's not just this month, next year. It might take you, and that's having many payments. And a lot of things get set up on 48, 72 months. And really learning that concept that, okay, yeah, we have a good job now, but we got to maintain a good job for 3 months or 3 years to be able to pay this off, and it's going to take many, many months. If you care for yourself, the question you ask yourself, your ignorance, willful blindness, minus the pain, life's razor sharp, and life's going to cut the crap out of you if you're not careful and you're not prepared for it. So that was one of the things that I really looked at as far as your adjustment and how you viewed consciously your self-reviewing your actions of emotions, frames, which are being dominant. You need a strategic plan. Your action, your vision, transparency to growth. You always want to scale up. So start with a simple one-page plan. Don't make it too complex, but know where you're going throughout your day, throughout your week. And each person has a destiny, your adaptation to your own responsibilities. Everybody has different responsibilities. Everybody's fundamentally, we're going to decide what is a better place or a worse place. To all of us, it's going to be completely different throughout the collective as far as where you're going, where is your life rough at, Don't just take the cards people deal you, learn to stack your own deck, learn to not show all your cards, and, okay, you have a couple aces, but build up a couple more aces before you, instead of creating a tower moment for yourself. Don't expect every card dealt, to play out as you thought it would either. Sometimes you have to adjust these things, and sometimes you have to know when to fold your cards and start over and redeal yourself a whole new set.